So once we have finished fabricating a special tray, so we always need to have a handle to carry a impression material or to carry a special tray into the patient's mouth. So how and uh, in what way we are supposed to fabricate this handle? So I was explaining in the previous slide there are about two different kinds of fabricating a handle for a special tray. One is intraoral, the other is extraoral. So this this picture is showing the intraoral way of fabricating a handle for a custom tray. So the size of the handle should be around 2 into 6 centimeters, and it should be around 3 to 4 millimeters in thickness. So we need to adapt uh, the self-curing methyl methacrylate. Once you mix it and once it gets into a dough stage, it has to be picked up and it has to be manipulated and it has to be placed in a premaxilla area. It has to be adapted properly to the custom tray and it has to be placed in such a way and it has to be uh, manipulated in such a way it occupies the space of the six anterior teeth. It should replicate the contour or the fullness of the uh, or the fullness of the or the support what is being provided by the anterior teeth for the lip. It should come in that contour and it should extend, as I have told earlier, it should extend from one premolar to the other premolar. So this curvature and position of the handle helps in exerting even pressure on all the special tray during impression making. And the second one is a extraoral way of fabricating the handle for custom tray. So where exactly do you use this intraoral to which particular type of special tray? This intraoral method of fabricating a handle and to what type of special tray we use extraoral way of fabricating. So the intraoral method for fabricating a handle is always used for a close fitting special tray or a closed fitting custom tray. When we are using a spaced custom tray, we have to use an extraoral method for fabricating our handle. So the size, it should be rectangular, it should be 5 into 2.5 centimeters in width and same 3 to 4 millimeters in thickness. So where exactly it has to be placed? It has to be placed exactly in the midline. The handle should be placed exactly under the facial midline of the custom tray and where it has a step, that means it has one vertical portion and one part of the handle it is bent. So the vertical portion should be around 1.5 centimeters and from 1.5 centimeters the handle should be bent at 45-degree angle so that it should exit the space between the lips, so that there should not be any hindrance for the upper lip while fabricating or while manipulating the lips and the cheeks while doing border molding. So it has a step which is at 45-degree angulation so that it should come in between the lips and it should come outside the mouth. So that is the extraoral way of fabricating a handle for a spaced special tray. So for a close fitting special tray, we always have to make a handle intraorally or preferably adapt the material intraorally so that it is contoured to help support the lips and the tray handle in itself helps in exerting uh, equal pressure on all the surfaces of the special. But when you're coming to extraoral fabricating, it is always coupled with a spaced special tray. So it has two portions, one horizontal and one vertical. So the vertical length of the handle should be 1.5 centimeters, and from 1.5 centimeters onwards, you are supposed to bend the handle at a 45-degree angle so that the bent portion comes out of the patient's mouth in between the lips, so that it will be easy for the clinician to manipulate while during bowel modeling. And when you are coming to windowed special tray, the handles they occupy a space for the maxilla on the mid palatal portion and for the mandible on the buccal self area. So you can see in the picture over here two different positions, or the position of the handles are altogether different for spaced special trays and closed fit special trays. In those two scenarios, we have placed the handles in the anterior section of the special trays, but for a windowed special tray, we have placed the handle in the mid palatal region, and for the mandible on the buccal shelf area. So for these, it has to be 3 into 4 centimeters and same 3 to 4 millimeters thick across the palate in premolar region. For mandibular trays, uh, where exactly we place our finger stops, those are the areas we use um, uh, for placing the handles for the special tray. So when you're using grooves, I mean when you're using a cold cure acrylic resin, or any whenever you're using light cure resin for fabricating a special tray, if you feel that the grip on the handles, if they are not enough, we can always cut grooves on top of the handles so that it can be made bit rougher, so that it aids in enhancing or the mechanical bonding, or it aids in taking out the tray from the patient's mouth without any hindrance. That means it improves the grip on the handle of the special tray. So while adapting this handle on top of the special tray, we can always cut grooves on the special tray. We can always make it little bit rough by trimming it with a burr, and we mix material, the cold cure acrylic, and adapt onto these grooves with the help of the fingers. So these things, they can always be finished. The rough edges can be smoothened with the help of tungsten carbide burrs, and it can be smoothened with the help of a sandpaper. So so that is the end of the lecture here. So now we can always say, or we can always uh, know how to fabricate a special tray for making a secondary impression, and how and what material and what type of special trays for that particular condition or that particular impression material, the thickness of spacers to be used, and what kind of handles and where the position of the handles has to be placed. All these things we have seen in this lecture. Thank you.